Hello students, I hope up till now you would be clear with the terms like what is democracy, what are the main features of democracy, specifically major decisions by elected leaders, free and fair electoral competition. So now we will discuss the third feature of democracy, that is one person, one vote, one value. See, one of the most important feature of democracy is equality. In 8th standard also you all would have studied preamble, and preamble talks about equality, liberty, fraternity, justice and all the fundamental rights. Somewhere they emphasize equality. तो इक्वालिटी बहुत मेजर रोल प्ले करता है किसी भी कंट्री की डेमोक्रेसी को सक्सेसफुल बनाने में. एंड इन दैट कंटेक्स्ट द कंट्री मस्ट गारंटी इक्वल राइट टू वोट. तो एक क्राइटेरियन जो मैटर करता है राइट टू वोट में, दैट इज एज. इफ यू आर द एज ऑफ 18 और अबव यू कैन वोट. But there are many examples or instances of denial of equal right to vote. A country can only be called a democratic country. See, election may be conducted, लेकिन सिर्फ इलेक्शन होना और सिर्फ इलेक्टेड रिप्रेजेंटेटिव्स का पार्लियामेंट में बैठना इज नॉट डेमोक्रेसी. Democracy must give equal right to vote. So there are many instances or examples of denial of equal right to vote. The first example is until 2015 in Saudi Arabia, women did not have right to vote. So what is this? This was gender discrimination. Women of Saudi Arabia could not vote. So it means what? Denial of equal right to vote. Although now they can vote, but that also in the lower level of election. They cannot still participate in the higher level of election. That is in the election of local self-government. So can we call it as equal right to vote? No. Second, in Estonia, this is a small country in Europe, people belonging to Russian minority cannot cast their vote. So the people who belong to Russian minority means who are less in number. So the people who have migrated from Russia and are staying over there and are less in number, they are called as Russian minority, and they find it difficult to get the right to vote. They cannot cast their vote. Third, in Fiji, the electoral system is such that the vote of an indigenous Fiji has more value than that of an Indian Fijian. So in Fiji, the electorate means the people who are going to vote or the people who are eligible to elect or vote, they are called as electorate. So in Fiji, the electorate is divided into two categories. Indigenous Fiji, indigenous means native, जो वहीं के रहने वाले हैं, born and brought up. And second is Indian Fijian, the people who have migrated from India. You know, Fiji is called as small India. Around 61,000 Indians were brought to Fiji by the British as laborers between 1879 and 1961. So subsequently more Indians migrated to Fiji. So those Indians who have migrated from India to Fiji, and of course they are now settled over there, they are called as Indian Fijian. Now the value of vote of an indigenous Fiji is more than an Indian Fijian. For an example, one vote by an indigenous Fiji is equal to 1, and one vote by an Indian Fijian is equal to half. That is, when two Indian Fijian will vote, that will be equivalent to one indigenous Fiji. So what do we understand? That political equality is denied. Right to vote is not given equally to the people. In a democracy, if you are actually a democratic country, each adult citizen must have one vote and each vote must have one value. Now, the next feature of democracy is rule of law and respect for rights. Rule of law specifically means that the law should be equal for everyone. be it the minister or be it a citizen. The law has to be equal for everyone. Now in this context, the case study is of Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe attained independence in 1980, and since then the country has been ruled by ZANU-PF, and this party played a major role in freedom struggle. The leader of this party, Robert Mugabe, was very popular, a very renowned leader, and he ruled the country since independence. Of course, elections were held regularly and it was always won by ZANU-PF. So I have already explained you that only elections being held does not make a country democratic.